I'm here with Coach Carrington.
Yeah.
Chaminade Julienne, right?
Yep.
All right. So first year?
Yeah, we have a middle school club.
Okay.
Because we have a bunch of Catholic schools in the Dayton area. We really don't have wrestling teams at each one of those schools. So the girls, both of those girls are going to be going to Chaminade Julienne their freshman year. So this is our first year, like you said, wrestling girls tournaments. So we're excited. We're pumped. We're going to have a bright future. The girls on our team so far have quite a few years of experience, so it's a little bit hard recruiting when you're dealing with the feeder school issue. But we're doing good for having two girls on the team.
Okay, so both girls here today. How are things going so far? What do you think of the tournament?
Oh, it's great. For a first-year tournament, it's great for sure. We have one girl that's undefeated at 150, Brooklyn Newton. She just won all of her matches. And then June Piles-Tresser, she is... let's see here. She is 1-2. She just hit a couple of hammers. Vita Savage out of Taylor, and then another girl from Tenora, which we had never seen before. She was really tough and aggressive. June is the lightest one in her weight class, so we're kind of struggling with the size, but she's in between 82 and 86, so better to bump her up.
Well, that's a hammer pull. I was watching that earlier. It's like that's great. Bracket. So something like this. Only middle school tournament that we know of, girls only in the state. First time ever, right? That you know of. You've been instrumental in growing the sport in the state of Ohio. How do you feel about this today?
Oh, I'm pumped. I'm so pumped. Any chance to wrestle with the girls is awesome. Coach at the high school level too. So any chance to get those girls out on the mat is awesome. All the other coaches like me from Orange, East, Harrison, we're all just working our butts off behind the scene trying to get these girls matches, and really that's what it boils down to, is all these coaches are getting it done together. We're not really waiting on anyone to call us. We're making the phone calls and creating the quads and the tries ourselves because nobody else is doing it for us. There's no tournaments. Most of our schools, we can't run tournaments, or we're not allowed to go to tournaments, per the administration. So we're all stuck dealing with the quads and the tries and the duels, and just trying to get as many matches in as we can, and all the coaches are just pushing for that state tournament.
Yeah, and I was talking with Coach Jane earlier, and he was saying that he was adamant that no matter what happened, because originally this was going to be with the high school, right? And I understand, obviously, we can't do that, but he was adamant that this was still going to happen. And so just talk to us about how important it is to kind of keep that ball rolling and making sure that there's exposure for girls wrestling in the state of Ohio.
Well, it's vital, and I'm glad that he stuck with the middle school tournament over the high school tournament, because growth really lacks at the middle school level. So I would rather actually see a middle school tournament than a high school tournament, because there are so many quads this year due to the school's regulations. So the push at middle school is equally as important as the high school. Some of these teams are fully rostered teams with maybe only one girl that's wrestled more than a year. And in order to create like second and third year wrestlers, we have to have middle school teams, right? So I'm really happy for this opportunity, and I think that as a state in general, we're going to continue to push even through COVID. Even if that means the Coaches Association sponsors us for another couple of years, I'm cool with that, as long as we can continue to wrestle, you know what I mean, and build the girls teams.
So we've talked about having some hammers at weight classes. You've also mentioned first-year wrestlers. Talk to the girl that might be watching this video saying, maybe I ought to give it a try. Talk to that girl.
Okay. Well, first things first. You are going to belong to the best sisterhood out there. I played competitive basketball my whole life, so I came from a different sport, and I never ever experienced a sisterhood like this. And the coolest part is not only is there a sisterhood, but there's a lot of female coaches that are up and coming and trying to make that push and that bond. And the cool thing about it is that these girls create bonds not only with themselves, but they're out there like mingling with other girls on other teams. Well, you don't get that at basketball tournaments, volleyball tournaments, tennis, whatever, you name it. These girls are going to go home from here and look up the other girls on social media. They're going to continue to talk to each other. They're going to continue to push each other. And very rarely do you get boys or any other sport where they come off the mat or the court or whatever, and they're congratulating each other. They're shaking hands. They're asking how long they've wrestled. Where do you live? Come to this camp, meet me at that camp, let's go to this tournament together. So it's a bond unlike any other, and the coolest part about it is that it's all around wrestling, and wrestling is the greatest sport in the world. So it's really cool to see females getting on board and supporting each other. And it gives them a lot of confidence going from middle school to high school. I see the girls that have wrestled in middle school, their confidence going into high school is way different than non-wrestlers or girls trying other new sports for the first time. So the confidence part is huge. Your confidence will grow through the roof, and that's huge as a female high school student athlete. So the confidence piece and the sisterhood and bond is just unparalleled. There's nothing like it.
And it's a sport for any body, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
For that confidence piece, you got a middle school girl that might not think she fits in a certain, body type or something like that. Here we go. We've got weight classes.
Let me talk to you about that. I struggle with that a little bit this year with some first-year wrestlers. I have one first-year wrestler on my high school team, and she's a lightweight, but she kind of struggled with the weight classes and do I need to cut? Is cutting a thing for me? I'm like, look, cutting isn't a thing for you because the weight classes are designed just for that. They're a weight class. So I tell the girls, it's nothing but a filing system with your weight, and you just might happen to fall under this filing system and that weight class. So you'll see all those girls, and that's that. We don't care what that number is associated with that filing system. It's just a number. So the cool thing is that there's weight classes all the way up into the heavyweights. So you can be 225 pounds and there's still a place for you to wrestle. So it's pretty cool. I got a wrestler though.
Okay, sorry.
You're good.
Appreciate everything you do for the sport. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the time.
Have a good one.
All right.
Yep.